Hi, I'm Katerina. I'm 16. I'm going to tell you a story about something super scary that happened to me. Are you scared of the dark? You will be. So, both my parents are archaeologists. Sounds amazing, right? Action. Adventure. Gold treasure. Nope. They both work in a university and read a lot of books. Dad is obsessed with old pots. Mom is all about soil. That's right, soil. Like dirt. Oh, and before you ask, no, they don't dig up dinosaurs. Don't ask about dinosaurs. They get asked that a lot. But having archaeologists for parents isn't all bad. We get to travel a lot. But wherever we go, Mom and Dad do one thing: dig holes. They dig holes in the desert. They dig holes in forests. They dig holes in the mountains. They dig holes in the jungle. No matter where we are in the world, Mom and Dad just want to know what's under the ground. Mom and Dad's travel photos are, well, not for everyone. Mine, on the other hand, I love taking pictures. My camera is my most treasured possession. Sometimes I wish Mom and Dad would look up from their holes in the ground. They'd realize what amazing experiences they're missing. But little did I know that our trip to the Amazon rainforest would end up a really scary experience. Mom and Dad were invited to help on a research dig searching for an ancient temple. Dad was excited. Mom was excited. I was so excited. The most important rule was to stay close to the dig and the camp, because it is super easy to get lost. And if you get lost, no one will ever find you. And the wild jaguars get pretty hungry. It was so remote, and I couldn't even use my phone. One night, we were sitting round the campfire. The sunset looked so pretty. I wanted to take a picture, but I couldn't find my camera. I turned my tent upside down looking for it, but I couldn't find it anywhere. I was so upset. My camera was everything to me. Mom and Dad were just focused on their work and didn't seem to take it at all seriously. Mom told me to look in my bag. I had already looked there. Dad told me to look in my sleeping bag. I had already looked there. I was frustrated that they didn't help me look. I tried to remember the last picture I had taken. Then I remembered. I was photographing this amazing butterfly when Lewis, the head archaeologist, handed me a water bottle, and I put the camera down on a tree stump. I had left my camera at the dig site. It was getting dark, but I thought I would just have time to run to the site, grab my camera, and return to camp. I should have told Mom and Dad where I was going. Of course I should, but I was angry at them for not helping me look for my camera. Sure enough, my beloved camera was exactly where I left it. I was so relieved. I scooped it up, and just then I heard a sound in the trees. I hoped it was something cute and cuddly, but then I remembered. The hungry jaguars. I didn't wait to find out what it was. I crawled backwards super slowly, and there are no prizes for guessing what was behind me. Yup, a gigantic hole in the ground. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad. Thankfully, it wasn't deep enough for me to be really hurt. I stood up, looked around. The earth at the one side of the hole trembled, and then it fell away to reveal an enormous carved door. And I know what you're thinking. Katerina, no one would be crazy enough to walk through an ancient door, in the dark, in the middle of the rainforest, on their own. And you're right. I'm not at all that crazy. Just then, the ground underneath me shook, and I fell through some kind of trapdoor into an ancient tomb. Lucky, my camera had a light on it. I shone it around the enormous room. It was astonishing to think this amazing tomb had been down here this whole time, and I was the first person to see these beautiful carvings for hundreds and hundreds of years. But also, it was cold, and it smelled bad, and I realized that Mom and Dad would be worried about me. I thought about what could be down here with me. spiders, snakes. I took my mind off it by looking at the tomb in more detail. All around me were beautiful objects. Carved cups and bowls, beautiful statues. I reached out and picked one of them up. It was covered in dust. I rubbed it carefully, and then... it was made of gold! My parents are archaeologists, but I was the one who had found treasure. But I was still trapped in an ancient tomb. I had to find a way out. Just then, I felt the wind on my face. Perhaps there was another way out. I crept carefully down a long passageway. I felt something in my hair. Ew! I thought it must be spiders, but when I looked up, it was the roots of the rainforest coming down into the passageway. I felt the wind again and kept going. Then all of a sudden, I could see light up ahead. It must be the light of our camp. But before I could get to it, I saw that the path below my feet had fallen away and there was a deep chasm. I was still trapped. Just then, I heard people calling my name. "Katerina!" called Mom's voice. "Katerina!" called Dad's voice. I called back, "Mom, Dad, I'm down here!" But my voice echoed back at me from the stone walls of the tomb. How could I have been so stupid as to run off to find my camera without letting them know where I was going? Up ahead, I could see a tiny slither of light coming through the ceiling. It was so low that if I got to it, I was sure I'd be able to get out of the tomb. I reached up and tugged at one of the roots above my head to see if it would take my weight. But then I stopped myself. If running off had been dumb, surely trying to get across the chasm was even dumber. But then I heard a noise behind me. There was definitely something in here with me. I grabbed the tree roots one after the other, swinging myself across the empty chasm. I sprinted towards the light, but when I got closer, I could see the hole was tiny. There's no way I could get through. I called out, "Mom! Dad, I'm down here! Help!" I saw Mom and Dad's feet running towards me. "Katerina, what are you doing down there?" Dad sounded worried. "Dad, there's no time. There's something down there with me." Luckily for me, if there's one thing my parents can do really, really fast, it's dig. I heard something move in the dark. Something was coming closer and closer. Could my parents dig fast enough to get me out before it caught me? Yes, they could. I had been trapped in a tomb with a hungry jaguar. So that's how I got trapped in an ancient tomb, and how I got out again. Mom and Dad were kind of furious, but then they saw the jaguar and they were just glad I was okay. Plus, they absolutely loved the gifts I brought back up for them. So, am I rich now I discovered gold treasure? Nope. Lewis and his team are busy excavating the tomb to learn all we can about the ancient people who lived and died here. Am I going to tell you exactly where this tomb was? Nope. No matter how many comments you leave below this video. And you'll only get hunted by Hungry Jaguar if you do try to find it. But Mom and Dad were so scared that they nearly lost me that for once I managed to get them look up from digging holes and see how amazing this place is.